Microsoft quietly changed something in powerquery and it genuinely caught me off guard. In this video, I explain a recent change to how custom columns are edited. And although the issue relates to Excel for Mac, the video is still worth watching. Functionality in the powerquery editor is increasingly being aligned across platforms, and what appears in Mac or Excel Online today often makes its way to Windows. So if you rely on powerquery to clean, shape and transform data, this is one of those small changes that can have a big impact on your workflow. Because Excel on my Mac has already been updated, I can't show you how it used to work. So to do that, I'll use Excel on Windows. Then I'll move to the Mac and show you the problem. This is my data. It relates to sales of ice cream, and as you can see, it's already been loaded into the query editor. I need to create an extra column that shows the sales tax for each sales transaction. And for simplicity, the sales tax is 10% of the revenue. Now, there's two ways to do this. The first way is to select the revenue column and then click Add Column up on the ribbon, then select Standard and select Multiply. And into the box that pops up, the multiply box, in this case we'll type 0.1, which is the decimal equivalent of 10%, and click on OK. And that gives us a new column where each value is 10% of the revenue. The second way is to create a custom column. Now for me, unless you're a hardcore M coder, custom columns only need to be used where what you need can't be done via the menus and buttons on the query editor ribbon. So I'll click on Add Column again, and this time click on Custom Column. I'll give the column a name. I'll call it Sales Tax. And for the formula, I want to multiply again the revenue by 0.1. So if I double click on revenue in the available columns section, it puts it into the formula, and I can just put multiplied by 0.1 and click OK. Now let's suppose the sales tax rate changes and I need to amend the formula. I'm going to amend both formulas. The first one, I need to click on the inserted multiplication step, click on the cogwheel, and then I can edit the value directly in here. Simply change it to 0.15. So the tax rate has gone up to 15% and click on OK. To edit the custom column step, select the added custom step, click on the cogwheel, and it gives me the formula. And this is the important bit. This is the bit that's changed on the Mac, which you'll see shortly. So from here, I can just edit the formula directly, change it to 0.15, click OK, and we're done. That's how it currently works on Windows, and that's how it was working on the Mac until recently. So I'm now on the Mac. I've opened the same file in Excel on the Mac, and I've opened up the query editor. The steps that I added in the previous demo are there. Now let's say again I want to edit the inserted multiplication step. So I'll click on that step's name in the panel on the right and click on the cogwheel, and it gives me exactly the same as I had in Windows. If I want to change that value, I can do. I'll just cancel that. But the whole point of this video is to show you what happens if you need to edit a step that was created as a custom column. But the fact the custom column in the file was created in Excel on Windows is irrelevant. So if I now click on the cogwheel for the custom column, instead of seeing the Edit Custom Column Formula dialog box, like I saw on Windows, where I can edit the formula, Excel has looked at the formula that I created via the custom column dialog box, and because it was a simple multiplication formula, it presents me with the multiply dialog box from where I can change the value. Now, as it happens in this example, because the formula is quite simple, this new way of working is actually better. But There might be situations, and I came across one recently, where the change they've made isn't for the better. I was building a custom column formula using powerquery on the Mac, and it was quite a complicated one, so I decided to build it bit by bit. I'm not going to rebuild the formula here, it'll take too long. I'll do a simpler example to demonstrate the point. So let's say I wanted to combine the first 2 characters of the store location with the last 5 digits of the order ID. So I will create another custom column. I'll give the column a name. I'll just call it order code. And then the formula is going to be text.start, open brackets, double click on store location, and it puts it in the formula, comma 2. So that is going to pick out the first 2 characters from the beginning of each entry in that column. So I'll click on OK, and that looks right to me. So now I need to go and edit the formula to add in the second part, extracting the last 5 characters from the order ID and concatenating them to the end of what is currently in the store code column. So I will click on the cogwheel for the step, and powerquery offers me the enter how many characters from the start of the text do you want to keep dialog. So this means I can't edit the formula. At this point, the only thing I can do is either delete that step and create the formula in one hit, or edit the formula via the formula bar. So if I cancel that, there's the formula in the formula bar. I can extend the formula bar, make it a little bit taller. So it's not impossible to edit the formula in here, but it's not as nice an experience for the average user. You can't increase the height of the formula bar beyond a few rows. There's the extra M code that's not part of the formula itself, and that can be distracting. And there's no way to select the column names from a list. You have to type them in. So it's not the end of the world, it's just different and not as user-friendly. So really the purpose of this video was just to point out to you, if you use custom columns on the Mac, and as I said, also in the new powerquery editor in Excel Online, that there is a change to how the formula for custom columns is now edited. Well, I hope the video helped you out, and if it did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like more Excel tips and tricks, check out my website at theexceltrainer.co.uk. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, have an excellent day.